Wait, what?
Alright folks, Nomad back at you with episode number 18. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. Let's fall back down here on our blood-soaked battlefield where we've shown you guys a lot of tips and tricks to become better Minecrafters. Today we're going to be creating a cool system, folks, a really cool system. You'll see what I mean. It's going to be a double piston vertical down extender. What a mouthful. And this one's also been inspired by the one and only Mumbo Jumbo, but I've added a few other cool tips and tricks here, folks. So let's get started. Alright. So I'm going to put a box here, but check out what I do in a second. Put another box on top, and look at that, folks. We have suspended boxes in airs. You're wondering how on earth, Nomad, are you doing this? Folks, I'm a level 3 certified Minecrafter. If you pay attention to the things I say, you will also become great Minecrafters. I always explain my reasons, and my reasons are always sound. And right now, this is being propelled by some electrostatic repulsion system that creates such a magnetic force that no matter how many boxes you see me creating and these heavy pistons that I'm putting here, it still gets suspended in the air. It doesn't matter what I put on it. It's that strong, folks, and it's one of my favorite contraptions. So you can see here I'm adding in a few boxes towards the sides to add a bit of sort of an alignment guide here towards these pistons as you'll see how this is actually going to work. And so I'm putting a bit, I'm sort of creating a bit of a balancing act here, but you know, our electro repulsion system over here, folks, that's what we call it, our electro repulsion system. You know, it needs to be balanced as well. And so I'm adding a bit of a marble slab here because as a piston actually, you know, shoots down, it creates a bit of a jiggle, and you need to sort of somehow control it. So I'm adding a bit of a wireless system here as well. You know, our little 211Z or Z, as I mentioned for you American folks. But I'm adding one on the back. I'm also adding one right over here in the front, and that's important because even though we have gravity working towards our side, we also want to add more power, because before, with our lever system, when I added in a switch, we would take the enemy's head clean off. Well, this one's going to be a bit different, folks. You'll see in a second why. And I'm adding a little bit of blood on top, and there's a reason for that, folks. And that reason is because when the enemy is parachuting above us, because we have paratroopers following over our head at all times, we are always caught behind enemy lines, and we need to be ready for anything and everything, folks. And that's our way of demoralizing them to understand that if you actually have the nerve to fall over us, then that's going to be your blood spilling over our contraptions. So I've added some torches, some other blood here that gets lit up, and you can see here it's a beautiful intricate system, bit camouflaged, but I add a little mirror on the wall here, except it's not going to be a wall, and you're going to see why, because as soon as I click that, boom, you can see that it will crush the enemy. So as they get mesmerized and they're looking from underneath and they're trying to pick their nose and clean their the gunk out of their eye, you know, all of a sudden we just hit that switch and slam. And you can see why that guidance system of those boxes next to the actual pulley system is important here, and why we need, you know, those wireless systems in place. So that way when we click that switch, it just crushes the enemy, and that will definitely let up their system. You can see here the blood gets lit up. We have our torch system that's lit up, and it's just a quick system. I click it on and off. It just comes up and down, very simple, very quick, but very, very powerful. Make no mistake, folks. This will kill the enemy, and it will demoralize the rest of the team. And as it gets switched on, the lights come on, and it ends up being like a spotlight system. See, these lights actually get powered on, the blood turns on, and then we pop out of those bushes and those beautiful little violet flowers over there, aiming down our M16 iron sights and taking out our enemy. So you can see here, folks, that the boxes are all important. The torches here are also important, because when we actually turn on that system and these lights actually light up, when it's off, it actually lights up as well, the torch on the outside. See, right now this torch is off. And there's a reason for that, folks, and it's important reasons, so you need to pay attention to what those reasons are. So you can see now that the torch there is lit up there towards the top. You know, click it again, and it will have a different effect, but that particular, you know, torch is off. And, you know, now when I'm going to be focusing a little more when I click this switch, you can see the blood here towards the top is on, then I turn it off, turn it on. You know, you can see how it ends up being a very powerful system. So, you know, folks, if you guys follow these instructions, you know, I'm very, very confident that everyone here will succeed. We will definitely kill our enemy no matter what they come at us. They can come from the bottom, they can come from the top, they can come from the sides. We have all these little tips and tricks that I've shown you guys. But I also think what's cool is that if you add something a little bit different, so I click the switch, you can see how powerful it is, but I can add something just a little bit different. I can perhaps, right where this is, the little blue box over here, what I can do now is I could probably add something different. So I'm going to add here a little bit of a camouflaged box. Still ends up killing our enemy. You can see it's a bit different, but towards the bottom you can see it looks just like the rest. So the enemy has no idea what's going to happen. But boom, as soon as I hit that switch, I'll kill them just the same. So we can either mesmerize them with a beautiful blue box while they're trying to pick their nose in that little mirror, or we can just, have them think that they're undercover and they're, being covered perfectly fine and safe, and as soon as we click that switch, it's all over, folks. They'll just, they will get nailed and they will die. Trust me on that. Look at this beautiful system, how it's being held up in the air by this electrostatic repulsion system. These magnets and this wireless system is so efficient and so effective that it will kill our enemy. This vertical system rocks. It's my favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to the channel, folks. See ya.
Alright guys, there's just a little bit of fooling around there. So this method works, but it is completely and totally, what's the word I'm looking for? Inefficient.